Hi friends, Bloomabel here and welcome to my new series called Games Worth Waiting For. Today we'll talk about Witchbrook, a game I've been following since the beginning and for long now has been in development, but I know for a lot of us has never left our minds. Witchbrook is a life simulation game set in a seaside town called Mossport, where we can attend a magical college, build relationships, and live out a witchy everyday life. In this video, I want to go through everything we currently know about Witchbrook, from the town and the college, to magic, NPCs, art, animation, and the small design choices that make the world feel alive. So, Witchbrook is developed and published by Chucklefish, a studio well known for supporting cozy community-driven games. Witchbrook blends more than one genre together, and that includes life simulation, RPG, and cozy magic fantasy. We can either play as single player or in co-op of up to 4 players, something that brings so much joy to me, as we can attend classes, explore Mossport, and experience everything the game has to offer either alone or with friends. The game is confirmed for PC, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and is coming out this year, though the exact release date has not yet been announced. Now I want to bring up the map locations with you and see where we can go and explore. Witchbrook is centered around Mossport, a coastal town that blends ordinary seaside life with quiet magic. At its heart stands Witchbrook College, which includes the lecture theatre, the North Hallway, arcane arts, tea-making class, and I'm guessing even more to come. Other known locations include places like the Shad Hollow Forest, Shadbrook Cottage, the Spring Festival, Parasol Sands, Whitecap Explorer, and Hannah's apartment. I love how the town and Witchbrook College interconnect throughout the map, making the world feel alive and lived in. As the developers have mentioned, one of Witchbrook's strongest design pillars is that Mossport is meant to feel alive. The town changes with seasons, weather, and time of day. Decorations shift during festivals, special events take place throughout the year, and tourists even visit the town depending on the season. How cool is that? And as we can see, the developers love the tiny details, from the townsfolk holding an umbrella during rain and wearing mittens and coats when it's freezing, to us experiencing longer or shorter days based on the season. NPCs follow daily routines, walking through town, attending classes, working jobs, socializing, and returning home at night. There is also a subtle traffic simulation with movement patterns that make the town feel active without overwhelming the cozy atmosphere. One of my favorite parts about the life simulation that brings so much detail to the world is the bus service that we can take around the city while enjoying the view. Wildlife also further enhances the sense of life, adding motion and ambient detail to your daily routines, whether you're walking through town or flying overhead on a broom. Moving on, Mossport is also populated by a growing cast of NPCs, each with their own personalities, routines, and role in the community. So far, we have been introduced to 4 main NPCs: Hannah, our coven mate and fashionable friend; Eli, a journalist and writer in the Witchbrook Oracle, responsible for informing us about the latest news and gossips of Mossport, and I'm mentioning here quickly that I'll have the link for the Witchbrook Oracle if you guys want to go read it and have a look yourselves. We also have Cormac, a witch and a very gifted artist, and our latest addition Pip, also a coven member, a witch mechanic running her own workshop. While we don't yet have full details on romance systems, the developers have confirmed that certain NPCs, and so far every character introduced to us, includes a dateable option. Relationships appear to be designed as something that develops naturally alongside daily life, routines, and events, rather than being the sole focus of gameplay. Our next topic is character creation. We have been introduced to the customization options in November's devlog. So far, we have seen a different variety of skin tones and hairstyles available. I appreciate how inclusive they are, and the range of different hair textures they have included, as well as the fringe or bangs options, however you want to call it, that they are providing us with, and the ability to grow facial hair. I also love the fact that we are able to visit the salon to change our hairstyle and color, as well as trimming facial hair. We haven't seen a lot yet regarding clothing and accessories, but we know that we will be able to layer up to 11 pieces of clothing together. The developers have stated that so far they have 5 masks for clothing, and that includes a dress top, a shirt, a pair of trousers, a long skirt, and a short skirt. This has resulted in the making of 60 plus unique clothing items, not to mention that we will have access to Calico, Mossport's clothing boutique, that provides a number of different clothing brands to browse from. For example, Labyrinth, a gothic line that includes corsets, chunky boots, and much more. As a gamer, I personally love the dedication of the devs towards the fashion aspect, as this is one of the primary ways to express ourselves in the game. Now let's talk about the gameplay, magic, and quests. Magic in Witchbrook is more of a skill and profession rather than something rare and secret. Anyone can choose to attend Witchbrook College and learn magic. It's treated like a vocation rather than an innate power. We progress through academic studies, unlocking new classes and spells as we advance. Some of those classes include alchemy classes, where we use local flora and sometimes fauna to craft remedies, herbal teas, topical salves for everyday ailments, and we progress over time to craft complex potions, like cures. Also, the College Observatory of Divination classes during daytime with tarot card reading, and during nighttime with communicating with the constellations of the cosmos. Through these, we can acquire the divination skill, which provides help and advice to townsfolk regarding travel, finance, love, and more. Another class is the Arcane Arts, the realm of rituals and demons. This one is taught only to witches who prove their hard work and knowledge by passing the exams of both semesters. Using magic is rather practical and requires you to meet clients face to face, gather and source your own ingredients, research ancient tomes, craft remedies, and personally deliver the results. Quests are tied to relationships and dialogue, often blending town life, magic, and NPC stories together. I also wanted to quickly highlight the architecture of Witchbrook College because the developers have put so much heart and work in this. Witchbrook College itself is a character. Architecturally, it's a sprawling campus built over centuries with different styles reflecting different time periods. The main buildings, like the library, observatory, and quad, are inspired by the Cambridge University, featuring bright sandstone masonry, ornate details, and stained glass windows, as well as iconic fountains. Other buildings, such as the Alchemy Lab and Arcane Arts Classroom, lean into medieval styles with timber beams, wattle and dome walls, and crumbling red brick towers inspired by regions in France. Small environmental details, uniform lampposts, railings, Witchbrook emblems, flyers, brooms, and bicycles help sell the feeling of a real university town layered with history. Although Witchbrook can look almost 3-dimensional, the entire game is 102-dimensional. Characters are animated using detailed sprite work with careful emphasis on movement and believability. For isometric movement, characters are animated in multiple directions, resulting in thousands of hand-painted frames, over 1,300 frames for the player character alone. Animations respond to context. For example, when flying on a broom, our character's hair moves, our legs sway with gravity, and the posture changes with speed. The world also minimizes immersion breaks. Instead of loading screens, building fronts fade away as we enter, and when flying, nearby buildings temporarily disappear so our character remains fully visible, reappearing naturally once out of frame. All of this creates a seamless, uninterrupted sense of place. Closing up, I wanted to bring attention to the game's soundtrack. The music playing in the background is from Witchbrook's official soundtrack, and it perfectly mirrors the piece of Mossport. Calm, warm, and quietly magical. Together, the art, animation, music, NPCs, and systems from a world that isn't about rushing forward, but about settling in. Witchbrook isn't just a game about learning magic, it's about belonging somewhere, and that's what makes it so special. So that's it for our video for today, and I have to say that I'm waiting every day for some more glimpses in the world and development of Witchbrook. And if you are as well, make sure to subscribe so you can keep up with everything new. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay cozy, and keep exploring. Take care!